First of all, I would like to clear up some misconceptions brewing in the comment section of my last post. No, I've never pulled any malicious pranks on my girlfriend to get her to come home early from a night out or anything. Neither do I have an issue with her going out as long as she doesn't come home at like 6 a.m. And no, I've never blown up her phone like that while she was out with her friends. We usually go out together since we share the same friend groups. Here are mine and her messages from WhatsApp in order since people thought I just texted her my balls hurt or something. Okay, this is super helpful. All right, I appreciate the context. Me, decline my first 2 calls. Her name, please come home, something is wrong. Her, question mark, can't talk right now, what is it? Annoyed emoji. Me, tried calling her again, I need to go to the hospital. Question mark. What? Again, tried calling her twice. My balls hurt, please come home now, something is wrong. Her, crying, laughing emojis, rolling on the floor. Trying her again twice after calling emergency services. Her, I swear, don't bother me again or I'm blocking you. Let me enjoy my night out. Me, tried calling her again twice and got blocked. The block, ooh, I hate that. At this point, the pain was too bad to try anything with her anymore and I just called an ambulance. Her next message after unblocking me at 2 a.m. My name, why the is there vomit in the living room and where the are you? Why is the front door unlocked even if you left somewhere? She then went into a full mental breakdown as she realized I was being serious about going to the hospital over 70 messages. Yes, it was stupid of me to expect her to drive to the hospital since she was drinking, but again, in that type of pain, you don't think clearly. I'll allow it, okay? I think I needed her more for moral support and I did it out of pure instinct. Yeah, that's crazy that you called her in a moment where you really, really needed her. Like before you even called the ambulance, you called your girlfriend. I would feel rejected and you were thinking about being with this person forever in sickness and in health. You know, let's all be clear on this. 2 missed calls is kind of like, okay, it's not that serious. No messages, nothing. But if you get 3 missed calls from someone in the middle of the night or 3 missed calls at any time, I think it's safe to say that there's something wrong and you should take that seriously. Or maybe you have like a stalker girlfriend or boyfriend or something like that, in which case like this doesn't really apply. But obviously you catch my drift. Not immediately calling an ambulance was also stupid of me. I was in a lot of pain, but stupidly at the time, I thought whatever I was going through would eventually calm down and driving to the hospital would be better than calling an ambulance. Also, in hindsight, me being embarrassed about calling an ambulance over my balls was definitely also really stupid. I do think though that this is like the mentality of a lot of people. Like, I think that we are reluctant to like take our health issues seriously. I think that if you have any doubts and you're like just even the slightest bit concerned, obviously I live in Canada, so I can go to the hospital, but like...
You're pointing fingers. No.
Better to be safe than sorry. The amount of mental gymnastics some of you did in my comments to paint me as some sort of dweeb or emotionally needy person for bothering my girlfriend was truly mind-blowing to me. Okay, no, I don't think you're emotionally needy. I just think that honestly, this might be a dumpable offense. I feel like I agree with you. I think not taking you seriously in that moment, even if it was a miscommunication, would really, really hurt. Now for the update. I'm doing much better now. Well, I'm glad to hear it, my dear. Not being able to go to work for the next 3 weeks is definitely a bummer. I work for my dad's construction company and my job requires lifting a lot of heavy weights. I'm also prohibited from having giggity for the next 2-3 weeks as well. I might have also developed some trauma due to the pain. I randomly get the same sensation again and it's driving me nuts. I'm glad we can joke about it. I'm glad that we're at a stage where we can joke. Yay. As for me and my girlfriend, it's complicated. As so many of you and my mom told me, 5 years is definitely a long time to be just throwing away without having a proper conversation with her. So I did just that. I told her how hurt I felt by everything. I mentioned the following points. Her ignoring my messages and declining my calls. Yes, clubs are loud, but where I'm from, there are smoking areas where you can have a conversation over the phone. Blocking me after I tried calling her. Ooh, it's the blocking for me. 3, not checking on me once, even though the club she went to was a 5-minute walk away from our apartment. 4, her being angry about the vomit instead of being concerned. After hearing that, she got defensive and told me I could have conveyed my situation better, and she genuinely thought I was joking. She was drunk and wasn't thinking clearly. She also told me that it couldn't have been that painful and I was over-exaggerating. Okay, no, like, bro, they cut up your balls and... They cut up your balls, dude. This for me, okay, she's minimizing your pain again. You went to the hospital. You're not allowed to do anything for like 3 weeks. And that now that you've had a conversation and the miscommunication has been somewhat resolved, so to speak, she's still minimizing your experience. I then told her, yes, I could have phrased my messages better and I apologized for that, but then I described the pain I was in and I told her I barely had the strength to text her, let alone send a detailed description of what was happening to me, and definitely couldn't think straight throughout everything. After hearing what I said, she started crying and apologizing for what she did. She told me if she knew how serious it was, we wouldn't have been having this conversation. She then apologized for her being mad over the vomit. According to her, she was drunk and tired and was expressing frustration. I then asked her why she thought I was joking and if she was cheating on me because this was seriously out of character for her. Oh, that's an interesting take. Ooh. Hence why I immediately trusted her with this. She started crying and she looked like I just her in the face. She told me that she just thought I was being insecure about her being in a club with a bunch of guys. Like, were they at the table or they were just present in the same room?
Let's not get bogged down in detail.
And no, she wasn't cheating on me and would never do something like that. We hugged for a solid 10 minutes. The next part was really hard for me. I told her I need some space to gather my thoughts and told her that she needs to stay with her parents for the time being. She immediately started having a mental breakdown and asked if I was breaking up with her. I told her I wasn't sure and needed time to see if I still trusted her after all of this, and what she did was beyond disrespectful. How could I trust someone with my life after they pulled something like this? I then told her that we are young and this mess was mostly caused by our immaturity. This entire situation was an important life lesson for the both of us, regardless if we stayed together. After begging a bit more, she then put her head down and started packing a few essentials. Before leaving, she told me she'd be willing to do anything to make up for this and that I could take as much time as I needed. She then gave me a big kiss and left. That was 2 days ago, and this is where we currently stand. I still give her updates on my healing, but besides that, we don't contact each other. I'm really torn right now. I still don't have that trust in her, but her owning up to her mistake shows that she knows she f***ed up and is remorseful. I mean, she did eventually own up to it. Eventually, but she was still kind of minimizing your experience. This is definitely something out of the ordinary for her, but there will have to be major boundaries and new rules set. I can think of the following. If she blocks me, for anything again, blocking herself from ever seeing me again. 2, ignoring my messages will not be tolerated anymore. 3, if she goes out alone again, she has to pick up if I call, regardless of the situation. 4, as many of you suggested, having an emergency code like hospital or something would probably have to be implemented. I'm not going to abuse any of these boundaries, but I just want peace of mind knowing my partner has my best interests at heart when she's physically not around me, but I don't know. The fact that you even have to like state these things though, like, I don't know. Those are a lot of rules for something that should be non-negotiable. Time in doesn't mean you need to stay with someone. That just delays the ending of it if you think you can't get past not trusting her. You would not be an if you chose to end it. You would also not be one if you decided to give it a go. You need to go with your gut. I personally would have a hard time getting past someone blocking me. I'm glad that we're all on the same page about the blocking because like, what the like, what the actual that level of petty would be too much for me. To me, that does not imply a partnership, and I need a partnership with my significant other. That's what's up. No lies were told. This October will be my 30th anniversary of getting married, and if he did block me or did not pick up when I had made multiple calls, that would be a trust broken, and I'm not sure I'd be able to get past that. And it's not just about not answering the calls, it's also because you genuinely needed her support in that moment. Like, it's one thing if you're like calling and calling, you know, there's like toxicity there, and like you can't answer the calls because you need mental space. It's another thing to not answer calls when your partner needs help. People think that they need to stay with someone or give it another go because they've spent a long time with that person. Yeah, I see that, but also, why was the long time that you spent with that person not taken seriously by her? You guys were about to get engaged and spend the rest of your lives together. Like, I think if the person has shown you who they are, don't waste more of your time on them. A partner shouldn't be blocking a person or not answering calls. If OP's girlfriend has answered even one of his calls, he could have explained. Girlfriend shows she doesn't care about him enough to make sure he's okay. I've been married 15 years and with my partner for 20. It's never, ever crossed either of our minds to block each other or ignore each other's calls. And even when we've had the occasional fight, I would not be with someone that could act that childishly or show that they cared that little about me. Well then, it's settled. You are not the a-hole, my dear.
It is decided.